Cool.
Hello, Eric. Hello, Paolo.
Ciao, Lynn.
Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, according to the times of your participation. We're just waiting here for our speakers to come to the stage, and we'll start the session. And obviously, we are now taking advantage of winter solstice. So, Charlotte, maybe we could do a quick round of introductions, the ones who are here. Starting alphabetically. Charlotte, you want to introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah, hello everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah, good. I have had a bit of a problem with my headset this morning. Yeah, my name is Charlotte Ditloev Jensen. I'm 49. I live in Roskilde, half an hour drive from Copenhagen, Denmark. I work as an internal consultant in the municipality of Copenhagen, and has been working as internal consultant in the public sector in Denmark since 2003. I'm a 2 times CPF with the International Association of Facilitators, and have been a chair of the Danish chapter for 3 years, from 13 to 16, and has found myself within the last year facilitating virtually for the first time in my life, and absolutely loving it. So that's been quite interesting. Paul and I were just talking a bit about it, and I'm very happy that you set this up, Paul, because I actually really need to reflect on this. What is actually going on with the profession of facilitators right now? Because a lot of things is going on. I experience a strongly increase in interest from all sides. I've been invited to facilitate an online workshop for Microsoft Denmark in mid-January for 240 clients of theirs that all use Teams. And I'm like, whoa. So that's very interesting. I'll keep quiet for now.
Yeah, no problem. It's someone that probably has the microphone on. Charlotte, thank you so much for your comments. These were very, very interesting to set up the stage for the conversations ahead. So by alphabetical order, we will have here Eric, Tseng, Eric, or Han.
Eric, this is Eric from Taiwan. I'm dropping by because I saw Mark's picture. In his mail, he said that he was attending this conference, so I'm here. I'm a facilitator. I located in Taiwan. During this year, I do a lot of online training or online meeting. So I'm quite new in this area. So I'm coming here to learn with you. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric, and glad to see you. You're in a working environment, right? Well done. Okay, so Tseng and by alphabetical order, we follow here Helen. Maree, hi, Helen. Are you here with us? I don't see your audio. And I see your pauses. So maybe we pass on to John Varney.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm John Varney. I live in the north of England, live and work in the north of England, generally speaking. I run a residential management centre here, and of course with the COVID, we don't have any clients at the moment, and I've been interested in facilitating online for maybe a year now, and I'm very excited about the prospects of this medium, the fact that we can be here this morning talking to others from different countries, different parts of the world, which I think has huge potential for dealing with our social problems, our political and social problems. But I think that society is going to have to lead the way, because politics doesn't seem to be managing to do it. And therefore, it seems to me that we as facilitators have an important role to play as leaders in a new social movement, a movement for creating a better society all around the world.
Definitely.
I'm getting on a bit. I don't do a lot of facilitating these days, but I like to get out and about when I can. I'm flattered to be involved in a group like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, and for setting an interesting stage for our conversations. While we are waiting for our keynote speakers, I'm realizing that you participants are the keynotes today. Okay, so following Jean, Eric already introduced himself. Helen, you're back with us. Alphabetically, you'll be the next. Helen Maree, hi. I think you're muted.
Hello, sorry, I had a little bit of trouble getting in.
Good to see you. Back since 2012, 18, right?
Yeah, something like that, a while ago. I joined the event when you had the room in London, and then the rest were on Zoom, right?
Exactly, yes. Exactly. Historical participant of Visual Collab 2018. Helen Maree, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, I'm Helen Gillman, and I'm the Senior Knowledge Management Specialist at one of the UN agencies in Rome, the International Fund for Agricultural Development.
Fantastic. And what's your take on digital facilitation or digital collaboration?
What's my stake?
Stake.
Oh, stake. Okay, sorry. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm obviously interested in this because in our organization, we've been primarily working remotely since March, and it's having a really, like with everybody else, really significant impact on how we're using digital technologies, often not very well. I mean, the technologies are fine, it's the way we're using them that can be a challenge. So that's what I'm particularly interested in.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks so much, Helen. So next in the introduction of this group by alphabetical order will be, I think, Lin Wong.
Hello. Hello. Hold on. I will repeat that. Hello, everyone. I'm Lin. I'm from Singapore. So I also do facilitation and coaching. Like Charlotte, Eric, Paolo, and Paul, I'm also a certified professional facilitator. And with Paolo together, we did our assessment for group map like a couple of weeks ago, and we were certified in group map also. Thank you. Happy to be here to learn from everyone and with everyone.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Next in line, I think, will be Martin Duffy, co-author of Beyond Virtual Meetings.
Good morning. Thank you, Paul. Good morning, everybody. I'm joining you from just west of Dublin in Ireland. It's great to be with you. Similar to Lynn, I've just completed the digital facilitation course with Paolo. And just, Paul, picking up one of the points that you made there earlier, one of my own takeaways from the last year is with the whole digital facilitation transition that we've all gone through. The irony for me is that it seems that we've significantly more humanized all of us in our professional interactions, which is actually slightly ironic because you imagine that interacting through the digital space makes us all robots. But actually, it allows all of us to have our grandchildren walking in, our dogs walking in, the cats sitting up on our lap, having our cup of coffee. And actually, I think it actually brings us all significantly closer together from a pure, simple human point of view. That's a development I welcome, and I'm looking forward to working in that space for longer than this year, that's for sure.
Thank you so much, Martin. Next in line, it will be Miguel Cañas. Miguel.
Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me because I had some few issues to connect with all of you. Thank you very much. I'm really pleased to be here with all of you. Thank you, Paul, for inviting me, for having me here with all of you. I'm based in Barcelona, working, my consulting work is focusing basically on servicing customers and helping companies to provide better services to their partners and end users. And also, my work is focusing as well in the the collaboration subjects, in how to make the how to avoid the the silos inside the companies, how to facilitate the cross collaboration, especially among the functional units, and this is absolutely basic in my work as well. So I hope to enjoy with all of you and to share many thoughts and many ideas within today's session.
Thank you so much, Miguel. And we have here really an interesting range of what I I like to call ourselves collaboration architects. I think that this is a broader notion that encompasses the work that we all do. Could be as change management consultants, could be as process facilitators, could be also as agile and scrum masters. We are all collaboration architects trying to get the most of a group of people, an organization, or the society as a whole. Anyone else here pending introduction? I think Paolo Martinez. Are you online?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Ciao, Paul, and congratulations for organizing this solstice event. I mean, it's such a transition. Days will be longer and more bright, so light will come in on us more and more. I am also feeling the same vibes as I hear Charlotte and Miguel and everyone in this group about the fact that we have been learning a lot this year to expand, to extend to broaden our impact as facilitators. I am also, as the others said, CPF, and this year we also got I also got the Impact Award, which was really nice. And I'm based in Pisa, and today I will not be able to follow the whole session because 2 of my 3 kids, by a strange astral connection, are in Pisa, and it's as you said, dogs are coming in, and when kids are there, you have to select your priorities. But I was happy I will see if I can join from the boat, because one of them wants to go sailing. And this is the great advantage of digital activity, because how could you participate to an international event online with people connected from Singapore? I mean, that was impossible. And now everyone is so, I'm going to share after we are preparing with EIAF a paper together with Mick Alton and a futurist on the future of facilitation that reflects, and it's going to be shared with all the facilitators that are interested, on how the digital changes have had an impact, and the concept of the chronotope, so place in time. The concept is now that we could be anywhere, but we are together, even if, and this is great for collaboration. So I will not say more, and I'm happy to hear what the others have to share. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Paolo. And it's true that congratulations for your Impact Award. Paolo is doing incredible work here, even with the COVID. He managed to do incredible participative projects, and I was also invited to a conference where he led with the region of Emilia. What is the name of the region?
Bologna, Emilia-Romagna, yes.
Emilia-Romagna region, and it was really an awesome experience. I really feel connected with people that I never met before. It's so true what you're saying also, Martin. We can be more humans, even though we are distant, virtually distant. Okay, so I think we have still Pierre Weathergin. Pierre, are you able to join us by video and audio?
Hello.
Hi, Pierre. So good to see you here. It's been a while.
It's been a long while, but we have been in contact for many years. So in a way, working in the same tribe as
we are both collaboration architects, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, and I'm the CEO of Clever Collaboration Group, which is both a consultancy network as well as a consultancy company working in with digital strategic workshops and processes and so forth. So that's and please, Paul, fill in the gaps. You know me probably better than I know myself.
Definitely, Pierre. It's very good to have Pierre here, and also Paolo, Martinez. We have here a group of people, and maybe I'm missing someone else. We are the ones who already work with digital tools for facilitation, or digital tools for group decision making before COVID. So this is how I met Pierre. Pierre works in risk assessment in large organizations, banks, finance sector, and other sectors. And he, in his consultancy work, he uses a digital facilitation in a certain way because he uses group decision support systems for decision making. And also, I think Paolo Martinez is also an expert user of these tools. Not sure about others. And this is interesting because when COVID came along, for us, perhaps it was not so tough, not so hard on. So can you tell a little bit about your practice after COVID, Pierre? Did you have any impact?
Yeah, and also before. I mean, working with group decision support systems, democratized processes in a way to allowing groups to take decisions together, and that has really paid off when I help customers to implement management systems, for instance. So already back in 2013, I was appointed the Security Consultant of the Year here in Sweden, and not because I'm the best security consultant, it's because I work in a different way, engaging the whole organizations, and that has an impact on the results you deliver. And then this year, I was given an honorary fellowship of Business Continuity Institute. So I was one of 4 who was given this title, and that's also with motivation of working the way I do with group decision support systems in order to engage organizations and the staff in the implementation processes. So it really pays off to have digital platforms that has specific features that allows you to work really inclusive, and that working with anonymization, for instance, allowing people to really speak up, have a free mind, and we get everything on the table, and we can structure that and deliver and create joint action plans. So I've been working for over 3 years with one of the governmental agencies here in Sweden to transform the organization and create a digital transformation plan. I'm still working for them.
Fantastic.
So
that's interesting to see that there are very powerful success stories with digital facilitation.
Yeah.
And the key is really the inclusiveness. We have to make sure that everybody is on board. And this is why Pierre got a distinction as the security consultant of the year in Sweden, not because he's a better consultant, because he has clever processes, more inclusive process. Pierre, thank you so much. Now I see we have here from Australia, Andrew Uffer, and also Anna Neves. I think that alphabetically, Anna, would you like to introduce, oh, Andrew is already ready. Andrew, good morning. Would you like to introduce yourself, and then after you, Anna Neves?
Sure. G'day. Thanks, Paul, and hi everyone. I'm based in Perth in Western Australia and do a lot of work around facilitation and a lot with community engagement work. So currently working on a process to launch the state soil health strategy, and been involved in ones working around development of state level policy as well. So all that has been involved using digital platforms of one form or another. And more recently been doing some work with a group called Nuffield Scholars who work in agriculture. So working with the Nuffield group in Brazil. So been some early starts in the morning, 6 a.m. to run some workshops. But so yeah, it just shows the reach that we're able to achieve, but fantastic integration as well, and been really valuable. That's been.
Fantastic, Andrew. It's so interesting that we are in this meeting here at the solstice celebration meeting, and I find myself like we are in the middle of a Druids meeting, because each and one of us is contributing to this world in a way that we are probably meeting Druids, right? Because we work with meetings, we try to make the meetings more inclusive. It's so interesting to see that's the wealth of experiences here and from all over the world. I would like just to make a note, a quick note for you that you could use the Kiko chat environment. I'm sharing my screen now if you're able to see. So whenever you join the Kiko chat here in the RSV page, if you log in with your details, then when we join the space, we will be able to see the participant maps here. And probably this also could be a good way for you to be in touch with each other. So in case you have not logged in with your credentials, maybe you could do that, because then we'll see the participants map here, a real participants map, like Andrew is from Australia, Miguel is next to me here in Spain, but I think Lynn is Singapore, Martin will be here in Ireland. That's something that I will welcome you to do it whenever you have the time, so we can have a participant map featured on the Kiko chat. Well, with that said, I think Anna Neves is here with us, but she's having trouble with a mic and camera. Anna is also a participant from Visual Collab 2018. That was the origin of this movement. To 2018, we organized an hybrid meeting. And by then, we already experienced something that we are seeing right now, is that the virtual space does not necessarily mean that we cannot be effective, productive, inclusive, right? Right now, I would pass on to anyone who would like to share something on this fact that solstice, winter solstice, new year ahead, what can we, meeting Druids, contribute to a better world? Maybe John, you can take on that, John Varney.
Can you just repeat your
so what
prompt?
Can we are here in these meetings, Druid, in this solstice celebration. We know about our skills, we know about our contributions, we know what we can do. So what it is that we can do to make this world even better?
Yeah, well, I think the thing is to do more of it. I say that because, but I don't actually do an awful lot myself. So, but I do think that that the world needs the kind of collaboration that you're speaking of, and excuse me, that's something that I've done for maybe 30 years. I've been doing what you described, I think, as collaboration architecture. In fact, I trained as an architect originally, and I've always believed that the thinking that I learned to do as an architect, which was to do with putting up buildings, and rather modeling the space in which people were going to work, that kind of thinking stood me in good stead when I suddenly had to turn myself into a management consultant of some sort. So the way of working, of getting people to work together, to be inclusive in their relationships, to collaborate in solving problems, all of that was suddenly, for me, in the 90s, became very important. And I learned many techniques. I designed and developed tools, which unfortunately are now rather out of date, don't quite cope with this digital medium. So I'm waiting for further new tools to be developed and for me to learn to use them so that I can work in digital space, because as you all know, This is an emerging medium of enormous importance for the future of mankind and the future of life on Earth, I think, because as I said earlier, I think that without this kind of collaboration, certainly our politicians don't manage to make things work very well. And we're seeing increased polarization around the world. Collaboration is the direction that we need to be going in to resist the fragmentation of our thinking that is having very negative effects. So I do think that our role is increasingly important.
Fantastic. John, anyone would like to add thought to this? Paolo, maybe Paolo Martinez did an incredible work this year, and inclusive in getting an impact award from the IAF. How do you see, Paolo, that our role has a definitely important mandatory contribution to the world?
So I have a statement here because you keep mentioning me and I'm getting to blush, Paolo. You make me blush. Thank you. Now, well, how do I see this? It took COVID to change organizations in such a fast way, even public organization, even the gap of age. We had some participatory workshops on mobility in a village, in a town, and they were saying, "Oh no, you're not going to get people who are over 70 to participate in the workshop. They will have a big, you know, they won't manage." So we took them very patiently by the hand, and they were the most creative ones in the group in the end, you know. So my dream is that we don't go back to normal, is that we keep experiencing more and more of this, because attendance to the workshop is much higher. You don't have to park the car, look for, move in the car for 2 hours to go to a meeting. You just join by a click. Of course, we have to keep working on the quality and the impact of these events. So much more attention, I mean, the same attention that is needed in the planning, but even more. So that we need to keep developing skills as facilitators and as druids in this process. So I think the learning curve has been very steep, but we still need more and more practice, because also the tools need to change. I like some of them, but still we need to have a humanistic approach to technology and digital solutions, because, and you know, I'm now living in the region where humanism was kind of coming back through the Renaissance. So the centrality of people, the centrality of the design for people should be remembered. And this is also a challenge both for facilitators and for platform developers.
Thank you so much, Paolo. That's definitely, and I feel that Italy was in a stage, the center of a revolution, especially in the Western world, right? So maybe the fact that COVID impacted so strongly in Italy is going to make also the center of a new revolution from Italy starting. This is obviously speculation. My dear colleagues, please use the Kiko chat, because we have here an incredible space that we'd like to have as also as a memory of this gathering. And when you are here, we are all now in the main stage here, right? You can find this stage 1, which is this first encounter we are having here. And you can use this collaborative pad to please share your notes here. I'm seeing that Anna Neves is not able to, Anna, whenever you're okay with video and audio, please lighten them up. Otherwise, I would recommend you to use this for your conversations, takeaways, and comments you like to leave for the others, because then throughout the day, others will also be able to see the outcomes of this conversation that will close in about half an hour. Okay, Charlotte, would you like to contribute something? Because I'm seeing you're quite active on the iPad. And then perhaps Helen also. Charlotte?
Sorry, can you repeat that, Paul?
Yes, if you'd like to contribute about your takeaways so far from this conversation, because it's quite unexpected. You are now the keynote speakers, right? Maloud and Peter are not joining us, and you are having all the stage, and I'm loving it.
Terrific, thank you. All right, my headset just kind of, my internet connection had a little bleep, so that's why I didn't hear your question. I just heard my name, like what? So I find it very interesting. I think it was Martin that said it, that, you know, the more humanized meeting culture, that we have coffee and dogs and cat, and there's an energy in that. To me, there's no question about that. There's a energy in that, and maybe even an energy that we have been lacking for many years, facilitating in the physical space and at workplaces and stuff, where we all, you know, come in our high heels and our ties. So, and I'm very curious about where that will take us, that energy, because it's very powerful. That's one thing. Also, I have actually written down a question for you, because there's this thing that I'm struggling a bit with, and that is that I find myself in the position very often these days where I am asked to, where I kind of sneak facilitation in the back door, because I am often approached with you know, with a question, can you teach us how to use Zoom or Teams for virtual meetings? We need to know the functions in Teams. We don't understand the technical issues of Teams, where I'm like, yes, I can do that. But it's my strong conviction that you do not get the most out of your virtual meetings if you don't have at least a basic understanding of what is facilitation, why is it important to facilitate meetings, how to do it, and what to do when things mess up. All the other issues on which button allows me to record my meeting, or which button allows me to share my screen so that I can include sound, all that technical issues, of course, yeah, they enable me to gives me the tool, but it's something else that really creates the value the most, which is facilitation. And I would really like to hear around the table here your reflections on that dilemma, that they come and ask for one thing, and I want to sell them another thing that they really need. Basically, a consultant's challenge number one, that people come with a demand that they know how to formulate, but what they really need is something else. So to make that translation, I would really love to hear your reflections on that question.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was that was a question that.
Thank you so much, Charlotte, for putting someone in the fire, so the fire is burning. Andrew Uffer, would you like to contribute on that? Because I know Andrew is also someone that works extensively with digital facilitation.
Thanks, Paul. I guess what we've found, similar to what Charlotte mentioned, is that people are wanting a bit more space now to talk and have that concentrated space. Early on in the year, probably in February, I guess March, we were sort of the approach that everything online had to be energetic and fast paced and, you know, kind of groovy, and just to keep people's attention because they're doing so much screen time. But now we've sort of, what we're doing now, we're finding out that people, because of the screen time, they're actually wanting to slow down a bit and have, I guess, more combined type approaches that we would have done in a traditional facilitation atmosphere where they're doing stuff that's more tangible. So we're encouraging people to go very, very retro go down to their local museum, borrow one of these things, a pen, borrow one of these things called paper, and combine those with our old facilitation techniques and making that a combo approach. And I think that where we're seeing the next challenge is going to be in the combo between the online and the face-to-face events going on. So in Western Australia, we've been so fortunate that we're actually having a lot of events come back face-to-face, but they're still trying to integrate with people online. So I reckon that's going to be the next big challenge is making that actually work without being too clunky, and also without being something that's harder for people online than it is for the people in the room. So that's where I see the next big challenge for us is making that work. Because I think we've risen up really well and taken and got a good hold of the online space. But I think the combo, that's going to be where the fun is.
Fantastic, Andrew. Thank you so much. I'm asking anyone who'd like to intervene, please signal me. I'm now opening here a little bit more to more participants. Maybe I realize that there is two levels of intervention here. There's a level centered in the meeting workshop, and there's a level of intervention centered in the organizational transformation. Miguel, Cañas, would you like to talk a little bit about this? And then perhaps listen to the perspective from Helen, Maree, because Helen works in the FAO, so it's a big organization. And I would like to hear from your perspective. Miguel?
Let me say some words about what I would like to highlight what John said earlier. I mean, we are facing a very challenging time in terms of polarization, and we are our societies are being highly tensioned because of this lack of dialogue between politicians, the elites, and at the end, this is reflected in the organizations as well sometimes. And I think we need a more structured conversations, more deeper dialogue inside the companies. I think this is the main vehicle for leading collaborations and making barriers down in all the organizations. And at the end, this will lead through collaboration, through collaborative atmosphere inside the companies. I think reinforcing the dialogue and breaching areas within the companies, this is something that we need more than ever. I think one of the lessons that the COVID crisis brought us is we have to see the world more systematically. We have to see our lives more systemically. Sorry, not systematic, systemically. We have to see, things are totally interconnected. Our lives are in the middle of interdependence, and absolutely we have to see this more systemically too. And I hope that this is the biggest lessons from the current crisis.
Thank you so much, Miguel. Cañas. Helen, Maree, would you like to talk a little bit about your experience in the large organization you are?
Yeah, I don't work in the FAO, by the way. I work at the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and we're a smaller. Yeah, no, that's okay. We're a smaller organization and increasingly decentralized. In any case, with people posted into country and regional offices. And as I said, we've been primarily teleworking since March, which was a huge shock for the organization because, from the point of view of interaction on digital platforms, I had convinced our very conservative IT division to allow us to get an enterprise subscription to Zoom, but I couldn't get anyone to use it. We were basically the only ones using it. And suddenly when we were all outposted, they woke up and realized we had Zoom, and now you can't get people off it. Now what's happening is that we have literally this Zoom fatigue where people are on meetings all day, every day. And what this whole discussion about the human element is really missing in our organization. I try to talk to people. I mean, this is not really my area of work to try to influence the whole organization. It's just not, I just can't manage to get that reach on the use of these tools. But what I'm trying to do is say, if I go into a meeting, try to say, okay, let's start off by having some informal interaction. Let's humanize this discussion. And there's tremendous pushback on that, because people are busy and they have their next Zoom meeting in an hour and they just want to get it over and done with. So they're not very, in fact, I was asking my team the other day of the KM coordination group, what percentage of meetings would they estimate that they attend where there is some time allowed for informal interaction? And they said maybe about 20%. They're agreeing on that. So not only do we have bad facilitation meeting and event facilitation practices that already existed being carried over into the Zoom environment, it's actually sort of being compounded by this mindset. And I really related to what Charlotte was saying before, because, for example, they're rolling out Office 365 now with Teams, and the whole focus is on the technical aspects. And there's, again, resistance to getting people to make the time and think about what are the skills that I need in order to be able to, the human skills that I need in order to be able to use this tool most effectively. So I mean, we have all of these challenges, but the other thing I wanted to mention that I'm becoming increasingly interested in lately is, if we're having these meetings using various platforms, where are the opportunities for genuine human interaction? If we were in a physical meeting, what we'd be doing is maybe breaking for a coffee, having lunch together, or at a conference you make time for that face-to-face interaction. And what I've become interested in are the platforms that seem to be emerging that could be inserted into the middle of an event, where people can just sort of drop in and informally chat. I was in one the other day, a demo of one called Hubbub. It's been developed by a startup in the UK. And just to give you an example, when we went into the environment, we have our little avatars and we landed in the garden, and they use spatial audio so that if you're talking to the person next to you, that's how you hear it. There's another group over on the other side of the garden. You hear them as though.
Helen, Helen, can you try to speak closer to the microphone? I have a little bit of trouble hearing.
Yeah, sorry, this is a technical issue with my laptop. Anyway, did you hear me mention Hubbub? I just thought it was a fantastic potential tool for that type of genuine, informal interaction. Literally, I went into one room and I found myself sitting on a chair at a table with 5 other people, and we were just having a chat around the table. It really creates that sense of the informal interaction. So yeah, I think
I didn't get that, Helen. Is that a tool, Haba?
Yeah, it's a new platform that's being developed by a startup. I think their people are based at University College in London, and it's called Hubbub, and it uses spatial audio, so you get this sense of being in an environment where people are. Anyway, my main point is that I think I agree with people. What is really missing and is a big problem is the human interaction. Beyond.
Can you put a link to the Hubbub thing in the chat?
Yes, Charlotte, please. Yes, I would kindly ask you all to share on Kiko's space, right? And by the way, Kiko space also has this special technology, dear colleagues. It's true. You can go if you go to the pub here. I'm showing my screen here. The pub also has a special technology, so you can join, and you will be able to experience that. You can talk with the ones who are next to you, and this is something that you can enjoy during the day, because this is a 12-hour gathering. We're going to have a number of stages going, and we have the pub. So you can go to the pub whenever you like for conversations with others. and interesting, Helen. Thank you so much for sharing these perceptions. And I always confuse your organization with the FAO, but it's a UN organization. And I would like to listen to the views from Asia. Lynn and Eric. Lynn, tell me a little bit about these challenges you've listened so far. How you overcome this challenge of Zoom fatigue in your part of the world, Lynn?
Paul, you like to throw the arrow just like that, huh? Never prepare me mentally, huh?
And Eric Tseng can also join on your rescue if you want.
I will share after Lynn. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, sure. Okay. In Asia, I guess for us, I think we have similar problems with everywhere. I guess the issues are the same. It's like we've been talking a lot about being in front of the computer for long hours, and then straining on the eyes, and then sitting down for too long, you know, because we sit a lot in front of the computer. So but I guess it's really about also taking time to be away from the screen. So it's also being intentional in our design of our sessions, such that we allow participants to have a break every hour to just rest their eyes. It's also good for us at the same time. And in Asia, I'm not sure, Eric, you may have different experiences, but for me, I feel somehow, because the work that we do now, and then because I think with COVID, right, it gave me the exposure to attend programs in different parts of the world, and also to run programs with participants from different parts of the world. I think that piece of work is really beautiful, in the sense you get to connect with people from different parts of the world, and yet the experience that we all are going through is somewhat similar, in a sense, of course at different degrees. Yeah. So it's like, I think it's really somehow bringing the world together into this space. Yeah, for me, it's like I do enjoy all these virtual sessions, because it gives me the opportunity to connect with people from different parts of the world. Yeah. As to whether experiences, how different is it from other parts of the world, I think it's quite similar. Yeah, I don't think that there's any difference. But Eric, you may have something different from your side. Would you like to add on?
Yeah, thank you, Tim. For myself, I think that this year is a wonderful year for me, because I have never had this opportunity to connect with other friends, facilitator friends from different countries. So I think this is a really wonderful time. And I agree that I hope that this will never end. And I experienced it, I learned a lot from various experienced facilitators, that we can do the online facilitation almost like face-to-face. We can use Miro or Mural or other tools, which we can use in our own consensus workshop method. We apply our face-to-face method, try to apply it to online. But later we found that maybe online, we did not need to only limit it to our face-to-face experiences, because online create more creativity. For example, when we are doing the face-to-face, because it is face-to-face, sometimes we cannot so focus. Online, we found that it's even more focused on the conversation or on the dialogue. And I think this is a wonderful experience. And also I think people here are always experts here. So we try to make the online experiences more interactive. For my own country, Taiwan, we have a little different, because we never locked down. So this is good, but on the other side, I saw my friends in Taiwan, they did not catch up this opportunity of doing things online, because everything is still face-to-face. I think this is a little pitfall. So that is my experience. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's so good to hear like a global voice. We're like in a village, a global village right now, thanks to this media. Martin, Duffy, would you like to add on something as we're approaching the conclusions of this meeting? of this gathering. That's stage one. Changing our focus. That's the subject of this stage one. Martin, would you like to contribute something?
Yeah, just from the contribution so far, it's really interesting listening to the different perspectives and the positivity. I don't want to bring negativity into the conversation, but I'd make 2 points, Paul, that spring to mind. I think we've all dealt with the issue in the past of the size of the meetings that we hold. And some of the points that have been made this morning remind me of the fact that for meetings to be most effective, at least this is my opinion, if we can keep them small, sufficiently small that we can get good solid interaction, but sufficiently large that we can get transportation out of the meetings of whatever our content was. So I think one of the risks that we have with our digital platforms is it's very easy to have 10 or 20 or 30 people present. The bit that's less easy is to keep them all fully engaged and then to carry whatever is in that meeting out to the next interaction. So I think that's a point of caution that we should all pay attention to, that if we can keep our meetings, our online digital meetings smaller, then I think we have a better chance of actually getting more value out of them. And then to add to that, and this is one of my own passions because it was the central focus of my PhD research back in 2016, Paul, that you and I have talked frequently about. It's the idea of if we connect our meetings to each other. So rather than just seeing each event as just working on its own, if we can create connection between our events, I think we'll get more focused on getting better value out of the collectivity of the inputs that we're all making. So rather than having one meeting with 50 people, if we organized 5 meetings connected to each other with 10 people at each, I suspect that we will get significantly better value out of everybody's time and energy that we put into it.
Thank you so much. Pierre Weathergreen, would you like to comment on that? Because I think your workshop style also includes this kind of sequential meetings with the technology you use, Pierre.
Yeah, I mean, I just a week ago finalized a larger with people all over Sweden for this governmental agency, more than 100 people in it, and working with a GDSS platform. I don't know if we're now to talk about the brand, so I'll skip that. And working from brainstorm, going into ratings, from ratings going into brainstorms and so forth. And the platform allows for that seamlessly flow from activities. And when I always end up with a feedback loop, and when they say that those meetings are better than the physical ones, that means that there are qualities in that platform that allow people to speak up and engage in a totally different way. So there are solutions that meets your requirements, Martin.
Yeah,
definitely. So interesting to see that we are definitely here in the gathering of meeting druids, because whatever one raises a point, there's another observation in another side that complements this. And we are now 6 minutes to go on this stage one. A total surprise because we missed our guest keynotes, which were Mouloud Cesar-Sali and Peter said they could not join us. I'm not sure why, because they were confirmed to join us. And suddenly you folks took the stage and you are the guest keynotes, and the conversation has been wonderful, really, really precious. So the last final comments. Anyone would like to comment something before we close in 5 minutes, because then I will explain you about the agenda for the day. Final comments for stage one.
Just a quick one. As facilitators, I see also Charlotte, I think you are standing up, aren't you? Ah, you are sitting. I think a big tip I can give you, get one of those tables that can be raised, because you get a lot of energy more also for you to share. If you are sitting, the circulation is not as good. I mean, it helps me. And I can also suddenly start to do a Qigong exercise or something like that, you know, and just a tip for the facilitators. That's a good thing.
I'm just a very naturally energetic person, Paolo, even when sitting.
Good.
I agree with Paolo because I have one such thing, and I stand when I facilitate. It's just different. It reminds me of when I am in an actual face-to-face session, and then really get to just be full of energy. Yeah, thanks.
And Pierre is also standing, right, Pierre?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's good to share notes. I also, when I host large meetings on Zoom, standing up, it's much better because you get the energy. But for smaller meetings, I think also sitting could be a good way to interaction. There is no rules here. You have to be comfortable with whatever gives comfort to you, to your comfort zone. So thank you so much for this first round of conversation. Let me just share my screen here to tell you where we are right now. So this is stage one, reframing my challenge, my purpose. So thank you all, dear participants. You were the guest speakers. We definitely contributed a lot here. And now we are going to have in half an hour, starting at 10:30 CET, so 5:30 p.m. Singapore, we're going to have a first workshop with our space, with Bo Kruger, Jane Cunningham, and Ilka Makalo, which is, by the way, the CEO of our space. And then later on, 7 p.m. Singapore time, that will be 12 CET or 11 a.m. GET for you, Martin. So we have the group map bootcamp, which is a series of workshops with our academy members, Digital Academy members, Digital Collaboration Academy members, including Lin Wong, which is here with us already. And then after we have the group map bootcamp, we are going to have 2 demos with simulations, like Jen Liburn will going to use a group map to engage community, and Jason Yu and Lin Wang, we're going to do a scenario on Snowmobile Inc., which is a company that, due to climate change, is no longer able to produce snowmobiles. So what's going to happen? So this is going to be a demo, and you're going to be invited to take part here. Then finally in the 9 a.m., so this is for the US crowd. I'm not sure anyone from the US is right now with us, but that will be 10 evening Perth, Singapore. Then we have stage 2, which is deepening my practice and connecting to the all. This is with a number of keynotes, which I hope, I'm sure that this time they will be with us. Gary Kei is an editor for Rave agency, an AV audiovisual publication. Judy Rees, that maybe you already all know, renowned facilitator, expert in clean language, is really an in-depth expert in clean language, and she's probably going to talk a little bit about that. And Miriam Adnes, which is the founder of Workshops Works, she will be with us in this slot. And then finally, last slot, that will be 9 a.m. Pacific time, so 2 o'clock Brazil, Latin America, and 6 o'clock CET. That will be end of the day here in Europe. Stage 3, what will I bring to the world? And this is going to be an opening video by Levin Berthier from Barco. Barco is a technology provider, and he has interesting conversation challenges for us. And then Elise Keith and Fernando Maree are going to talk a little bit more about what can we bring to the world. And that's it for now, dear friends. Don't forget that you have the pub here. Go to the pub, enjoy yourselves in the pub, and see you in half an hour here in stage for the boot camp on our space. See you all. Thank you for joining.
Hello. Great seeing everybody.
Bye. Great meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.